Well, now that we know what a database is, we're going to get started with our research. Now, I've been talking to your teacher, and she says that she wants you to do. Now that we know what a database is, we're going to go ahead and get started with our research and start looking for our resources. Now, some of you mentioned that you wanted to look up what women's role was during World War II in the United States. So one of our places that we're going to use to research is our destiny. And I know our destiny should look familiar because it's something that we use when we come into the library. So check out our books. Now we're going to look for the information by going to our catalog. Now, when you go into the catalog, this should look very familiar because we use it to check out our books. Now, when I type in information, you can see it says here, find. And if I type in World War, and I want to type in World War II. And you see here, I have a couple options. Keyword, title, author, subject, and series. Now, obviously, if I look it up by author, it's going to say that the author's name needs to be World War II. Definitely don't want that to be it. Now, if you see here, it says title. We definitely don't want the title to be World War II, even though it might be. But there could be a book about women, and we wouldn't be able to find the information if we just wanted it to be the title. Now, keyword looks for either one of these words in a title, as an author. So anywhere where that word is found in the information that's provided. So what we really want to use, and series is not one that we're really going to use as well, but the one we really want to use is the subject. Because when we purchase those books, they are populated with the subject, the title, the author, all that information that we have talked about. And they say that World War II is the subject of that information. So we're going to click on World War II subject just to kind of see what comes up. Okay, we have nothing. So we're going to go back to our library search. And well, I didn't get any results. So I wonder what's up. Oh, I can see here that I have some different options when it comes to checking out, or not checking out, when it comes to searching for our information, that I have some different ways that I can search for it. I can use brief records. Well, that doesn't look like it's going to give me some information. It's going to give me a call number. I can use a barcode, but that sounds like I already have to have the information. A number, which would be on the Dewey Decimal or someplace in the library where I could find it. Our copy categories just tells me what the library has deemed a copy, and it looks like they're mainly magazines. Definitely not good. Now, a visual seems interesting. Maybe I can use it to search, not today, but it could be something that I could use to search with later on if I'm looking for a type of book. Now, power does look more like the advanced search that we usually use when we go to Google or different search engines and we're searching for something specific. Now you can see here I have the type again, but this one just goes in a drop down instead of across. So I want it to be the subject. And we said World War II. And for some reason, I prefer to put in the 2 in Roman numerals instead of the numeral. And here we get another option. Now it says all these words. Now that means that it will search for world, it'll search for war, and it'll search for II all together, but not necessarily in that order. So as long as it includes world and war and II, it'll find those resources. any of these words means that if it finds world, if it finds war, or if it finds to, it'll bring up those resources. Now, if I click on starts with world, it'll look up words that start with World War II. Now I'm going to choose this exact phrase because I want it to be a book about World War II. I'm going to go into my second field here because we also want it to be about the United States. So I'm going to type in here, United States. I also clicked on subject because it's what it's about, not the title. And I did the same thing here. I wanted it to be the exact phrase, United States. Now you see there are some other options underneath here when we do that. There's an and option. So World War II and United States. There's an or option, World War II or United States, and a not option. Now when we use these are called Boolean operators. We're saying that we want World War II and the United States, everything that has both of those together. Now, if we say World War II or United States, it will pull up all of the information about World War II and all of the information about the United States. So it could be completely separate or it could be together. And that's going to give us way too much information and not what we really need. And then our last option is not. So not takes our World War II, and if we choose not, but not to include the United States. So it would include everything else, but anything in reference to the United States. And we don't want not for this option. So we want World War II and the United States. We're going to hit search. And again, I did not get anything in my search. That's interesting. So I can go back to my library search. And again, I'm going to type in World War II. I'm going to go to subject. I'm going to go to this exact phrase. I'm going to go to subject again, and I'm going to type in United States. So World War II and the United States. I'm going to go to this exact phrase. I'm going to go down to the bottom. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this when you've done a search, but you can include online resources. When I click on that, you can see that I have Wikipedia as an encyclopedia that pops up, School Tomb, the Orange Grove, also reference databases such as CNN, the dictionary, Fact Monster. So let's see if that yields us anything under our power search. Okay, so under one search, these are the ones that are online. So I look on here, okay, I have CNN, I have CIA, and I have Fact Monster. That's okay. I can see here I have no titles still, which is very strange. I have some websites, and I can show all. To me, that's just easier. But wow, when I do all, it means there's 1,000 websites, so I don't think this is going to be the best place to find information. One search, which was what we first saw, and then digital resources, nothing. So I'm going to go back to refine my search. Maybe, what if I take World War II off, the second part? What if I don't include my online resources? And what if I hit search? Oh, well, there you can see that I do have some options. I have 34. That's pretty good. And so I want to kind of look through and see what that gives me. I can see it has a Dewey Decimal Number, and in our library, all of our nonfiction have a Dewey Decimal Number, and they're in the nonfiction section. All of our fiction have an F and are categorized by genre. So right here, fic. I know that this one is probably not going to be what I'm looking for along with this. So I have a couple of resources. Oh, I do have one about women, which was a topic that one of you brought up. You wanted to see about the role of women in the United States in World War II. So that could be an option. We'll keep scrolling down. Just want to get a clear vision of what we have. Okay. No, not bad. And we did get one for the women. Now, another way that we want to go, we can go back to library search. Go back to our basic. And maybe I'm going to type in World War II. I'm going to go back to my subject. And you can see here, it didn't show anything. It says no matches were found. And we did find refine search. When I get that, it asks me to go back. But oh yes, it always does that when you go backwards. You don't want to do that. Now, when I go to browse subjects, this is everything that in that information that I mentioned with the databases is labeled as the subject of World War II. So I can see that there are some items with the World War. I'm going to keep going. World War. Oh, there I can see. Now I see there's World War II, 1939, and I'm looking for the United States. So I can see all these other ones, Burma, campaigns, Denmark, Europe. I see France, Germany, history, but that history could do with any of the countries, and I really want to stick to United States. Naval, military operations. Some of these could give me some information. Now, when there's a 1, that means that there is a resource that is attached to that. And I keep looking personal narratives. I don't want that because it's usually a fiction book, or it could be a biography. We'll keep an eye. Prisoners, refugees. Keep going. We're looking for United States. Underground movements. Oh, and we also have women. So I have United States, and when I click on that, oh my, there's one right here, women on the U.S. home front. I think that is the one that I'm going to pick. So when I click on details, you can see it's located in section 94053. And it's by author Carrie A. Cornell, so I'll find it under COR. So hopefully this will help you narrow down when you're looking through Destiny. Now I do want to show you another search engine with our databases that we can use. And it's one of our free resources that we offer under our text quest. And it's called Gale Resources. Now when we go in, we're going to go into the middle high. We're going to scroll down to our student resources in context. Now I am already logged into the computer, but you can use your card to log in with our information for our passwords. So automatically you can see it's pretty user-friendly. It's not as user-friendly as Destiny because Destiny is geared for younger all the way to our grades up to high school. So this one is geared to high school. So as you can see, I have a thread here and I have topics already mapped out. So I'm looking here, biography, business economics, geography, government, history, literature and the arts, science, sports. Oh wait, history. Of course, that's where World War II would be. So I'm going to go to View All. And I'm going to scroll through. I see people, ancient citizens. I'm looking for World War. I'm going to keep going. Oh, World War II, last one right there. So that's searching by topic. So I can see already that there's a blurb on World War II. I can see what the different resources are. There's reference,